Live from our headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria. If you just joined us, it's still Enterprise, the morning reaching you from Enterprise Television. Now to our main conversation for today. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu departed Abuja for Paris, France on Monday aboard the new presidential jet, marking his first trip on the aircraft.
The Airbus 330, purchased for over $100 million, was received at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport on Sunday. The presidency defended the acquisition, citing enhanced safety, comfort, and national pride.
And of course, the trip's duration and engagements remained undisclosed. The new jet replaces the 19-year-old B737-700.
The purchase of the latest aircraft has sparked debates, with critics like Omoyele Sowore questioning the wisdom of buying a new jet amid economic hardship. The government sourced funding from the 2023 Supplementary Budget Contingency Fund.
And of course, the presidency official described the acquisition as an excellent deal, valuing the aircraft at $600 million.
But many have also been worried by what seemed like a peg dealing in the purchase of the new aircraft.
Well, that what we have and still with us in the studios to do justice to this is Barrister Fansofeli, and joining us right about now is Cyril Abaku, journalist and public affairs analyst. Good morning, Cyril.
Good morning.
And thank you, gentlemen, for being part of our show today. So let's get into this very trendy, topical, and interesting story. That is just for the aircraft itself. We're not talking about the beast, the Cadillac, that was bought by the presidency. Actually, he used that to when he was going to Equatorial Guinea. You know, that's what about $1 billion.
The Cadillac Escalade.
Yes, Escalade. So we're not talking about that, but that's a discussion for another day. Let's concentrate on the jet itself. At the time when Nigerians are going through harrowing pains, pains that was impulsively caused by the president himself, he has asked us severally to tighten up our belts. But it seems like our president is doing the opposite of the case. Barrister Fansofeli, you've been a very strong critic of this, but how much of this can we keep talking about before the president realizes that this is a serious problem?
You know when the president said that the purchase of the jet is a national pride, I was wondering, how is it a national pride when citizens just a few days ago were protesting against extravagant spending of public fund, profligacy from one supplementary budget to the other? Within a year, the funds are being used for this purpose. There's a yacht that was bought. They denied it today. Okay. Now, when they finally purchased this after public outcry, they pretended like there was no jet whatsoever. You know what brought them out to the public was the Ogun State saga, because this new jet was impounded
amongst
was impounded, and it came to the fore now that they purchased it. They didn't tell the public anything. They purchased it, and a national pride. Talking about the jet itself, the origin of the jet is that jet was a repossessed asset.
Yes.
From someone who took a loan, used the jet as collateral, and could not pay. Then the jet was repossessed, and then we bought it. That's national pride.
And comfort.
Yes, and comfort.
Yes.
You understand? So if you bought Tokumbo's jet, that's the national pride and all that. I mean, it's bad enough that you're buying a jet when people are hungry. Then the history of the jet itself calls for controversy and a lot of things like that. So the president actually have explained that there was environment, because this was not in the 2024 budget.
As a line item.
Yes, as a line, it wasn't there. So now they've explained that there's environment. That environment now, we've not seen from where was that fund extracted from. Because had it been we have a National Assembly, we don't have a National Assembly. This action is gross misconduct. It calls for impeachment, impeaching the president. Because any money that is spent that's not budgeted for is an offense under the law. It wasn't there. Even the supplementary budget had already been passed before the old jet developed fort in Netherlands. And the president had to use a commercial jet to continue his journey to Saudi Arabia and then to London before he returned in very harrowing circumstances. So now you have purchased a jet. You said there was a vermin. Vermin has to be explained. Which project are you going to forego? It's opportunity costs. Okay? There must be a foregone alternative. So which project among those line up in the budget that you have foregone and you are using the money to purchase a jet? So it tells you that the illegality here, because then when you go through that budget at the end of the day, you will not find any environment anywhere. They just carried fund illegally to go and purchase a jet. The National Assembly oversight function, according to section 88 and 89 of the 1999 Constitution, ought to be, if we have a National Assembly, be probing that now and be calling for the impeachment of the president. But they will not do it.
All right, Cyril Abaku, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has, of course, as usual, has come against that and more. But, of course, the Bayo Onanuga did say, he actually referred to Peter Obi, saying that would he have loved that the president dies like the vice president of Malawi or the president of Iran, and it raises the question of which do we go for. Of course, the president should, of course, go in comfort, of course. But do you think this is we as Nigerians not asking for too much, knowing that he is the 001 of Nigeria and therefore should be given what is due him?
Well, giving the president what is due him should be performed, should be ritualistic. It should be his due. And he should get it as at when due, right? Because it's his due. But the whole fishy business of acquiring a new jet for the president began, in manner of speaking, when the House of Reps Technical Subcommittee came up and said that the president needed to get a new aircraft, that the one he was using, that they wrote this whole report. And we're wondering at time, because I think there's a lot of ignorance in the public space as to how government functions in Nigeria.
Yes.
What should be classified, what shouldn't be classified, what can people know, what can't they know, and so on. For example, you may be able to debate and say the president is sick, we shouldn't know what is wrong with him. But that's not true. If the president is not well, when George Bush Jr. was going under the knife,
Yes.
he ended up to Dick Cheney, was that the vice president? He had to do that. And for about 15 minutes or so, he was under anesthesia. He wasn't the one commanding the republic because somebody had to be in command. When JFK was shot and killed in Dallas, 1963 or so, what's his name? They didn't wait. They were here to bury Kennedy. Government must go on.
Yeah.
Yes.
They quickly swore in, what's his name? Lyndon Johnson on the start of Air Force 2. So Lyndon flew back to Washington as president. There was no debate about it. Government is not a matter of emotion. If the president's aircraft is bad, what is bad with it? There's not only one. There are a number of them.
6 of them.
Yeah, but even more. The President Bashir was one that bought the last one for $40 million in 2006 or so. So globally they will tell you an aircraft, the older it gets, the better it even becomes. That's all the aircraft they use. All these commercial they're all Tokumbo aircraft. Frankly speaking, go and check. There was one I flew the other day. There was no leg room. It felt like sardines are packed in a Korekwe bus. They all they do that. The older it gets, the better.
Many of them are leased.
Now again, yes, it's even on lease. Now let me again stepping the question a little bit.
Yes.
How did we get to know that not only the one we were buying from the German bank, this money, but that 2 other aircraft in the presidential fleet were also all in France for what Mr. Ononuga said were routine maintenance. If they have been routine maintenance, why did we need a new one? If maintenance can take care of it. And Henry, if the one was, if it was not asking for too much, what are the engineers in the aviation ministry doing that they cannot fix Mr. It's like people at NNPC that take fat salaries. The refiners are not pumping any oil out. They are going on Christmas break to come back and give us oil in the refineries. So this is the travesty you see, and you're asking very basic questions. What has gone wrong and where? This whole business has been very fraudulent. If we're even going to take the nomenclature of contingency fund, am I correct now? That's what they call it. What is contingent about getting a new aircraft for the president? And for the record, I'll say it here again, that the president of Nigeria can fly commercial. Heavens won't fall. Do you know why? Because it is not even about us being in suffering or being in being in this sort of economic hard times. The wealthy have principles. What do? They just keep, they don't. So one billionaire has 2 children, and one with all the money he has, it is the reason the poor will remain poor. Because you're having 9 children that you cannot take care of. But the one that has knows that to give them the very best, he will not only plan for their well, he will plan for extra in case anything happened. But the one that does not have group of lunch tomorrow will have up to 9 or 10
children.
And there's no plan. So if you look at Nigeria, what is our strategic wealth objective as a country? What is in our sovereign wealth reserve? What is in our external reserve? What is in our all those funds we keep to shore up, against the rainy day? What is in those funds that the president wants to fly? What is pure luxury?
But the presidency has come out to say that this is so minute that for the fact that the president is going on a comfortable aircraft does not or would not, wipe away the discomfort of the people.
But the country is indebted.
So will the $100 million solve the issue that we have?
It will not solve the problem. That doesn't mean you should be spending anyhow.
So hold on. That's what they have to repurpose it after the repossession by the bank. For the president to use it was repurposed. Which means they have to rework the fittings to make it look executive. So all of that also take about $50 million or so. And all of this we got to know through the grapevine before the presidency came to say they bought a new aircraft. We don't know how much they bought it for. Nobody knows. I saw in the intro somebody said $600 million. Is it as Tokumbo or as brand new or what? So they bought it cheap.
It's a national Tokumbo.
What?
Okay, and also
then the maintenance agreements and deals. What will go into that? Because they will maintain it in Nigeria. Maybe they want to do insurance with some.
How about the consultants?
And the consultancy, how much did all of those take? Nobody knows.
But it's spoken that by one of the officials of the presidency that this is a prudent investment, right? So probably they actually possess this one to get an investment for us as a country. And it was also stated that this is also good and it's going to project the image of Nigeria. Comfort and, like you mentioned, national pride. No, hold on, because it's like you acquiring a possession and then you see it as a prudent investment. Then you might be indebted already, but you know that when I'm buying this thing, a time will arise, I will resell. And what was articulated, when they want to resell this in the market, it would give us at least $600 million.
How many have you resold? We have.
Let's be patient.
Hold on.
Okay.
We can't see. These things are very clear. The truth is that we just went there to waste money.
We did that.
Yes, because if you look at, there are 9 aircrafts in the presidential fleet. Okay, 9. Yes, 9. Different version of it.
Yes.
Now, how did the Chinese company now impound the ones they impounded in France? Was it France? Yes, France.
Yes, France. Yeah.
Because those ones were taken there for maintenance. Okay. So what it means is that those jets can actually fly from Nigeria here into space.
Yeah, but it's not befitting the president.
Hold on. It's not about befitting. This one that you bought now, is it new? Can't you turn those ones to this one? Because this one was upgraded. They had to work on certain things.
Yes.
So instead of buying a new one, why can't you rework the over 9 you have on ground? Why can't you bring the expert to? Because in the spirit of fairness, okay, the Commonwealth of Nigeria belongs to all. You understand? It belongs to all. It does not belong to one man. If it were even that he was spending this money, if it's even a president that even know what he was doing, it will not be, be crying. This is somewhere that came disrupted the lives of the people, didn't know what to do till today, and is spending this kind of money. I should be clapping for him. We can't clap for him because, as far as I'm concerned, I know that what we have on ground could have taken the president to wherever he wants to go to. And if what you have on ground cannot take him to wherever I want to go to, he should be flying commercial. There's no money to buy aircraft.
Exactly.
That money now can build hospitals, okay? Can take the over 20 million children we have out of school, back to school. Can fix public health care, do something. You understand? Can even pay off part of the loan that we're indebted to. Can take care of it, because the truth is it's just one company that granted our we are crying. The one that we borrowed directly from China, that we're not even servicing effectively. By the time they come for us, and those agreements, they have clauses there that talked about sovereignty, that if they want to enforce those loans against the country, they will have to take over certain assets. Perhaps our allegiance might even turn to Chinese. If we want to sing the national anthem,
somebody knows
if we want to sing the national anthem, we start to sing Chinese national anthem inside here. So they should be careful. They are not doing things. They are not looking at the future. They are not looking at the public. They are not looking at the unborn. That's what I'm saying. You can't buy private jet. It's not justifiable anywhere.
And there's something I've noticed with this present administration. It's like they love to acquire expensive.
The president should even stop traveling. What is he going to do in that France that they're going to now? What is it going to do in that place?
Well, no.
It was actually
it was called a work stay. Now, what's a work stay?
It just goes.
What does that mean?
It's
A work stay. Because you see, the point is this. Besides acquiring, I think that this may look like an APC thing without necessarily rubbing it into the face of the APC.
Why did you say so?
Well, because there are people who can't get over the overwhelming reality of coming into office.
Okay.
That finally we made it to this place. So they are here to fully come into the responsibility
of the
but the largesse they can. So, for example, now what's a work stay? I don't know what that is.
Well, it could be interpreted from different vantage points. He was actually given a formal invitation by Macron, right, to come have whatever discussion it is. But I would love to believe that it is for the interest of Nigeria. This is the 25th time the president has left the country in this period of time that he has been in administration. And what the presidency is saying, that for every visit the president does, it is for the interest of Nigerians.
So what has been the outcome of all these 25 visits now?
He has asked us
what has he brought into the country? He said, during his speech, he said 2 investors have signed. 2 investors have signed.
And he has asked us to be patient for the results.
And a very big trouble.
You see, in order not to take anything away from it, this whole aircraft thing was total non-starter. An Airbus, there are different types of, jumbo jet and all these things.
Yes.
An Airbus is an overwhelmingly large aircraft.
Yes,
we're not buying it for commercial purposes. That thing has a bedroom, has a lounge.
It has an office.
Has all kinds of things.
A swimming pool there.
Now, okay, so let me just take you back to the Asian Tigers. I think it was Singapore.
Okay.
At the point, all of us were on the same level with these Asian Tigers. You know what they did? They cut their coat according to their cloth. And again, grammatically, that's a standard English idiom. Cut your coat according to your cloth.
Yes.
But we say cut your coat
according to your size.
So there is an imaginary size that we think we are. And we're cutting our coat according to that size. But the thing will never get, because we are bigger than we think. Sorry, we think we're bigger than we really are. So we are always cutting the cloth that will never get to that size. Now, where am I going? When they used to go I was at IMF for one of these meetings, and they will stop and lay their case out, then they'll give them grants and loans and go. Grants, I think. So the Singaporean, or was it the Malaysian Prime Minister will get there. and because he flew commercial,
Okay.
the plane will go back. He will go for the meeting.
He will fly commercial now. You can't try it to come fly private jet.
He will fly commercial back. The Nigerian president, the people that came to collect help, will fly in this kind of plane now and pack it to be acquiring demurrage. Demurrage.
And they came to collect aid.
So the aid that you take and demurrage has been acquired, which is bigger than which. Then they go back. Do you know that Singapore kept on doing that thing on the one day? The international judge said, you people, on all indicators, you are not supposed to be coming for this place anymore. We can't give you aid again. They actually kicked them out of that club. Nigeria is still there. There is a famous story of Nigeria's first Prime Minister, Tafawa Balewa, attending the World United Nations Conference. The British Prime Minister, was it Dutch, was coming in taxi. He was coming in a Rolls Royce. Today, what's the difference between the two countries? There is a matter of values. You can be a lead. This Mujica, former president of Uruguay, that was the world's poorest, driving a Volkswagen.
Yeah, that bicycle too.
If you heard that Mujica was on this street, what would you do? You want to run to this man, but he comes as a poor president. Is that also?
Yes.
Because a good name is better than silver and gold. So what we have not done, frankly speaking, Mr. President, Monsieur President, as they call the president in France, Monsieur President, okay, you want to have a meeting with me? Can we hold this meeting virtually?
Really?
Why not?
You can't have virtual.
This kind of
See how they meet. Hold on.
Okay.
If you hear bilateral meeting between Nigeria and America now,
Yes.
See how it typically happens. Their delegations will come. The two presidents come, shake hands for what they call photo ops.
Yes.
Shake hands, and then look at the areas they want to focus on. Then the two presidents walk away. It is the delegations that work out the details. All those, yes, now they want to talk about your diplomats, economy on both sides. Sometimes they people private sector invest and say, okay, we have this opportunity, we have tax rebate, Then when they've agreed, they take it back to their respective leaders. Yes. When they agree, they come. Their work is to sign signature.
Yeah, so sign.
So look, if you now want to, what is the embassy in the French embassy in Nigeria? What is it?
What's their function?
To be very honest with you, it is when you have serious political issues that the foreign minister of the home country will talk. But every other thing about whatever you have the ambassador here.
But just
we are not just hold on, sorry. You see, we are not just serious about doing the real things. Way back, way back 1978, used to say that if you want the election in 79, that you will never travel. That if you ever need to travel, you send the vice president.
Yes.
That you will sit in there, look at power, not fixed, light, not fixed.
Now the education sector is coming up now.
Education not and even the plane went to buy, education is not fixed.
ASU has given 21 days.
So in a country where at the airport people are stealing runway lights, if we should even believe that, and the president is happy to travel to France for work stay, the Indians told him we will bring $14 billion. It was voicemail. In France, the Swiss and the Wood, they told him that if they say that they are the ones lying or the people that are lying,
how about Saudi Arabia?
I don't understand it.
In Saudi Arabia, they just finished talking. They said that we have heard.
Later on, they went to Germany or Holland. The people said what they told is a lie. Mask. They said it's a lie. In UAE, they told them what the country said is a lie. About the fact that they are settled that Nigeria.
And by the way, that UAE, they packed. If you see the number of people that went for that thing,
then in Dubai, they went for a conference. The president had the delegation of 4,000 plus 11 people.
4,011 people.
But gentlemen, let's not be mistaken here. Reputation and the brand image is very important. The National Assembly has come up to say that aside from the fact that the presidential jet of any nation remains in some way the country's projection of its national brand to other nations, for leaders of all modern democracies, a good presidential fleet also serves as a boost for robust international engagement.
It doesn't serve as any boost of anything. You are not driving. You are not flying that jet into the conference center. They don't know what you came with.
They don't care, frankly.
I mean, what are you going to impress? These jets are manufactured in the West, in the America and the rest of the where we are going to. That's where they manufacture it. Do you manufacture jet here? What do you want to tell them about jet? That you are just manufacturing the president jet and then you are coming to showcase it so that you get investment. You are importing it. They know you are importing it. And it's Tokumbo, they are aware. You understand? So this one National Assembly is That is, you see, an empty national. That's why Plato, Socrates, and the rest of them, they said for you to be a leader, you have to be a philosopher. You will not know what you are doing if you are not.
Yes.
You will not know what you are doing. The philosopher King the Leviathan, be a philosopher for you to lead anybody. Otherwise, you'll be confused. See what the lawmaker is saying now. That is to show national boost, national image, national what? The Air Force One. Can you compare Air Force One with that? This
How many people can go close to Air Force One?
Tokumbo something.
Wherever it is parked.
So, and we are going to spend so much money. If you flew a commercial, when you land at the hangar of the airport, is the commercial this in they're the one that will pay. They're the one that will pay for their jet. It's their jet. But this one now will land there every day. You'll be paying. The one that Buhari took and parked at Heathrow for 90 days when he was sick. 90 days. A president like Buhari that had nothing to offer. If it's a president that has something to offer, I will go home and sleep well. This was have nothing to offer. And look at what they are spending. So, I mean, I will not
just to wind up in 30 seconds.
I wanted to ask him. Yeah. So those ones that fly commercial, who goes to check what the airplane they came, whether it was fine or not fine?
You never.
Then number two, lawmaker.
Yes.
A nation's real pride is its national carrier, which we don't have. Not the president's jet. It's a national carrier. That is what makes a statement. People want to, if somebody says, I want to tour Ethiopia. I think, did you go to Ethiopian Airlines? Did you see, because you want to go there and know the history. How did they start? This Ethiopian Airlines that is that's like a world beater.
Yes.
Yes. Or Germany, Lufthansa and so on. The last Nigerian Airways that went to America, when they got to the airport at MMIA, it was the passengers that contributed money to buy the last aviation fuel. When that plane landed in America, it didn't come back.
It can't come back.
Because your flag carrier carries your prestige as a country. And it is always flag. I mean, do you know what it means? If people like some of the world's big names want to travel to Africa and they say it has to be so and so airline, because even for them it matters for their own image as well.
Yes.
You know what? Yes, we don't have that in Nigeria. That is the real carrier of the nation's image, not the president's jet, which nobody sincerely, frankly speaking, cares about. If not for that, they brought this sort of fraud into the whole matter. How many of us have ever bothered to go and check what kind of plane does the president will fly? The way they park those aircraft at all those places, people don't bother to go and look at. Like, so the president, the Dutch prime minister and his Italian counterpart will say they want to go and check the airplane. Nigerian president, of all the presidents in the world, in Nigeria that they go and check.
There's no time for all that. That's what I'm saying. This image and national boost that is talking about does not count. It's the way they use it.
Maybe in Africa it does. In their club of
it's the way they think. That's why they believe that a lot. Channels TV, she working boy was interviewing one of the lawmakers. Say, but you guys have cars. You are made already. Why do you want to purchase the car of 420 million naira and all that? He said, no, that do you expect us to go and carry out our legislative functions?
Okay.
Or trekking to the place or going with cars that will break down on the road.
People ride bicycles.
Shauna said, but you could have at least purchased something that is, that is not that exorbitant. He will now ask, what car do you drive here in China's TV? What car do you do? He says an SUV, but it's a modern,
And in Nigeria.
Yes, that as a lawmaker, you need to get something that is durable, something that is at whose expense?
The nation's.
When was the last time you went to do any legislative assignment outside Abuja? So half of the time you are at home, half of the time you are at recess and all that, what you call recess and all that.
And these are people that have allowances.
Yeah, you spend. You see, because you see, they have common interests. That is why they can approve that jet, approve their own. But when it comes to NLC 70,000, they will not tell you that. You see, the country have no money. The country have no money. If the country have money, why not? They will pay. They will do. That discourse NLC 70,000 naira for less than 1% of us, because the people that were benefiting 70,000 naira minimum wage took them almost 6 months before they got to that 70,000 naira. You understand? And when they finish,
Yeah.
the man that spearheaded it now, they say he's the one sponsoring the insurgency now.
Yes, thank you so much, gentlemen.
And this actually, brings to memory during the military dictatorship. There used to be a time one of the military leader, actually directed that every military lieutenant there should use Peugeot. At the time, it was assembled in Kaduna State.
Yes.
And that was what actually blew up the use of Peugeot in Nigeria. Then military leaders from state administrators to the president himself at that time were using Peugeot. And here we have it, our president is using a Cadillac for his chauffeur. Well, let's see how that goes. Of course, that we continue to hope and pray that our leaders truly do understand the true definition of what it means to be leaders in our country. Well, that's just the size of our package today. Love to say thank you to Cyril Abaku for being part of our show. Thank you so much for being part. Roberta, thank you for being a great host.
Thank you.
And for making debut on Enterprise Television today. Well, people, that's just what we have for you today. We'd love to thank you so very much for giving us your time whenever we do call. But please do well to visit our site at enterprisetvnews.com for more information, and like, comment respectfully, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike. Right, on behalf of the Titan, thank you for watching once more, and we'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.